Chapter 22, A Predator Hunts at Midnight, Why You Should Never Agitate Scratchers in the Backrooms. I sprinted down the hallway of the 7th floor, my feet slapping the faded red carpet as I ran as fast as I could for the end of the apartment complex. The sounds of the door for the entrance of the stairwell exploding off of its hinges filled the staircase as it floated down the hall and into my ears. "It's here," I said dreadfully as I darted down the empty hallway to the end of the corridor. The pale beige walls of the apartment's hallways became a blur as I slowed to a stop at the end of the hallway. "I have to hide. If it sees me, I'm definitely dead," I said as I rushed to the closest door and pushed it open, fumbling with the knob before entering the forgotten space beyond the doorway. The air was musty and felt heavy, a humid cloud settling over my skin as I entered the room and locked the door behind me. "Under the bed," I said quickly as I walked over to the large queen-sized bed in the middle of the room, the intricately designed wooden headboard sitting against the wall as it lay left to rot. I crouched down, lying on my stomach as I crawled into the cramped space under the bed frame. The mattress smelled strongly of mold and aged sweat as I squeezed underneath it. The cramped space hurt the large wounds embedded in my back as I pushed myself into the claustrophobic space to hide, the wooden boards holding the mattress and the frame digging deep into my back as I hid in the darkness and waited. 10 minutes passed with no sounds or signs of the creature, my lungs burning as I held my breath the best I could, starving my body of oxygen as I tried my best to survive. "Where is it?" I hissed as my head spun, my heart pounding in my chest as the feelings of uneasiness and restlessness filled my entire being. My eyes darted around frantically, scanning for any signs of the creature as I waited, my body and mind slowly growing sick of hiding in such a cramped and uncomfortable space in complete darkness. My heart stopped as the sounds of scratching filled the air, the chilling feeling of death brushed past me as I hid in the shadows. "It's literally on the same floor as me already?" I said nervously as my eyes darted around the darkness. The only things I could see were the faint outlines of the normal house furniture shrouded in shadows. The sound of scratching stopped abruptly as the sounds of another entity floated down the hallway. "There's a hound here too?" I cried, forgetting the need to be quiet entirely as my voice pierced the air. The sounds of both entities completely stopped before the sounds of claws tearing into flesh exploded into the hallway. The scratcher tearing into the hound's body as the sounds of ripping flesh and blood splattering made me sick to my stomach. The sound of yelping and cries of pain pierced my ears as the sickening smack of the hound's body against the walls filled the hallway. Everything was silent for a moment before the sounds of something slowly moving down the empty hallway floated through the air. My eyes filled with tears as an overwhelming worry that this level would be my final destination in this place. What? That was unfinished. "I want to go home," I whispered sadly as tears raced down my cheeks, soaking the crusty red carpet of the apartment floor's room as I watched the door with overwhelming amounts of fear and sadness. The sounds of claws scraping against the crumbling concrete walls of the 7th floor filled my ears as I whimpered in fear. The scratching stopped as the creature stopped in front of the door, its chilling, uneven breathing drifting through the air as the door slowly creaked open. The room I was in slowly filled with light from the hallway, the bright yellow glow stopping inches from my face as I finally got a look at the creature. It was different from the one I had run into before, its claws resembling a series of sharp, curved talons with a black tint. The creature seemed to be undead, and was slender and thin, its long arms hanging down to its knees as it stood as tall as the door. Its eyes were human-like and filled with a burning lust to kill. My breath caught in my throat as the creature appeared to scan the room in front of it, its 2 nose holes opening and closing as it appeared to sniff out the area as well. Its skin was a pale gray, and it was covered in scars and stitched wounds. "These things are like reddish creatures, those ones I saw in the back way. They're human at one point," I thought to myself as I stared at the terrifying predatory creature in front of me, its slender and intimidating hunched-over posture paralyzing me with fear. The creature looked around the room again before abruptly stopping with its eyes in my direction. Shit. My mind raced as I tried to think of what to do, my heart jumping into my throat as the creature slowly ducked under the doorway and lumbered into the room. The air grew incredibly cold as it made a wailing sound, the eerie call sending chills through my entire body. My eyes watched the creature with fear as it slowly lumbered over to the bed, stopping a few inches in front of it as it emitted a low snarl. "It knows I'm here," I said in my thoughts as I listened to the creature begin to detect its next victim. My head spun as the sounds of sharp claws ripping deep into the mattress above me pierced my ears. My heart soared, adrenaline shooting through my blood as the chilling sounds of tearing fabric shot throughout the room. "I'm trapped," I thought to myself as the overwhelming feelings of dread and fear began to crush me to the core. I choked back tears as my life flashed before my eyes, the memories of my home being replaced with my experiences in the backrooms. I whimpered softly, causing the sound of scratching to cut short as the creature appeared to search the area again. Its thin, bony feet lay just a few feet away from my face as it snarled loudly. My body screamed with fear as I began to cry, tears streaming down my face as I struggled to make no noise whatsoever. The creature shifted, its feet moving away from me as it lumbered for the door, turning its back to me as it slowly moved away from my location. My chest heaved as I struggled to hold my breath in longer, my lungs burning as I grew lightheaded. The recent scratches in my back stung as they became soaked with sweat. The creature wailed as it exited the room, seeming to sound like it was pained by the fact it couldn't kill again. "Please leave," I whispered as those words filled my thoughts completely, my body trembling as I shook with fear. My vision blurred as tears poured down my face, my body giving up as I let my emotions loose. The slasher lumbered down the hallway and into the distance as I cried for my life in the dark. Sweat soaked my clothes as I sobbed silently, growing more and more tired as I exhausted any remaining energy I had left. My head spun as I grew weak, my eyes slowly moving around the room as my senses waved in and out. My entire body went numb as I passed out from exhaustion, my body laying underneath the bed in the dark as I left reality entirely, falling into a deep sleep as I drifted into the voids within my mind until I awoke again.